From the Skyview Motorsports Desk, I'm Roy J. Akers. With me, Steve Schweitzer, our NASCAR insider from the Lasco Press. Steve, taking a look after the Kansas blowout, kind of like with Kyle Larson leading all those laps, it really dawned on me that the Hendrick Motorsports Group, they have four of the top spots, four of the top eight in the point standings, and they are just simply running away with things.
Yeah, Hendricks has got it together, hitting on all cylinders. You know, uh, I guess maybe the only disappointment so far this year is Chase Elliott hasn't put himself in the win column yet, but I think we'll see that before the end of the year. Uh, they've just got it dialed in as an organization. They're racing really, really well.
Yeah, and you know what I find very interesting is that taking a look at the stats, not only is Larson first in points, but his teammate William Byron is second. Byron has only won once this year. Larson had to win three times. He has dominated. He's leading the NASCAR categories in virtually everything. I mean, from stages one, he has eight. He's tied for the race wins lead this year with Christopher Bell with three. His top fives is like seven or eight this year. I mean, he's had only one DNF so far this season. He has been dominant. It's been very noticeable. And as you said earlier, we have William Byron. He's second, but then you take a look, Chase Elliott. He is fourth in the point standings this year. He's only led 78 laps. Larson has led over 800. William Byron has led almost 400 laps this year. So that's really a testimony that you see Chase Elliott up there in the top. He's top four in points, and he's been very consistent, but he hasn't got in the win category.
Yep.
And with that, eighth in the points this year with his 10th, or is it his 11th? This is it, 11th top 10 in his career. Alex Bowman makes Kansas one of his best tracks. I think it's the second best track on the entire circuit. And he has raced extremely well. And what says you on this?
Well, I wouldn't you like to be a fly on the wall at those Hendricks meetings? And I'm sure Alex is feeling a little bit of pressure. Geez, I'm all the way down in eighth, and my three teammates are one, two, and four. But eighth ain't bad. I think, I don't think we're going to have 15 winners this year, 15 or 16, 15 plus the points leader qualify for the playoffs. So I would say if you're in the top eight right now, chances are really good that you're going to make the playoffs regardless of whether you get a win or not.
Yeah, and that's going to bring all the points talk a lot more in the conversation this year. Last year, Harrison Burton, he snuck in. He got there, very late in the season last year. But with that, and you know what we have, Steve? With us, we have Chad Knaus. He's the NASCAR Hall of Famer. He's also a CEO in competition for the Hendrick Motorsports team. He talks about the domination and why he believes it's happening right now in the 2025 NASCAR season.
Yeah, I think that if you take a look at it, we're maturing as a group. Obviously, the crew chiefs are now in their third complete year of working together. Our drivers are maturing, working together. They dive in deep with one another. They lean on each other. The communication at Hendrick Motorsports has always been high, but I don't know that it's ever been as high as what it is right now. It's something great to be a part of. Obviously, we've got Tom Gray, who is our technical director, who moved up at the end of last year, and he's doing a really good job in his role. And obviously our leadership is just awesome with Mr. H and Gordon and Jeff Andrews. So I think if you take all those things and everybody pushes inward, and obviously one thing we're not afraid to do is run towards a problem, and we do that and we try to get them resolved so that these guys can come to the racetrack and execute. And that's the thing that I think I'm probably the most proud of with our race teams is the execution throughout the course of the day. They execute at a very high level. Pit stop cycles, the way they perform on pit stops, the strategies they use. Really pretty awesome right now.
Steve, any disagreements with Chad? I think he was pretty upfront with what he thinks.
No, he's dead on. the team is just hitting on all cylinders right now, and that's it's impressive. Again, talking about Charlotte here in a week and a half, you could very easily see a dominating performance in that race. They've got four stages. I don't think anyone has ever won all three stages and then took the race win. But if anybody could do that, Kyle Larson is probably he should be at the top of everybody's fantasy team for the Charlotte race.
Yeah, the concern that I have on that comment, just in only in general, is just that if he does race the Indy 500, flies and then leads every stage, every lap at Charlotte, that might be the greatest performance in NASCAR history if he races all 500 laps. I mean, he was in the top five until he made his mistake, early in that race in Indy, and then of course they had all the weather problems that they had.
I'm,
Taking,
I enjoyed watching him race at Indy last year.
I did too.
Um, and I don't know this year. I don't think they'll have weather problems, but uh, I wouldn't be surprised if he has an incident during the race this year and pops out early. He wrecked during practice at Indy already. He's a great race car driver, but that's asking an awful lot of one guy in one day for sure.
Yeah, to race in two series, two different cars, and he's got Alex Palau, and Alex Palau is in his home turf, so we'll see if he can keep up with him at all. Now, taking a look at the top 10 in NASCAR this season, we talked a little bit about that already this week with Kyle Larson and William Byron, Christopher Bell. Uh, you got Elliott, you've got Blaney, you got Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, that you have Alex Bowman, and then you have Bubba Wallace 10th. Is there anybody in the that's
It's a little ways out.
might have to kind of wonder if they're going to hang on to it? You kind of wonder if maybe they've already shot their shot.
Well, uh, it's kind of at this point in the season, if you're in that top 16, um, you have an advantage going into every single race. The pressure is still on though for those guys, down there in 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. The final playoff spot is sure going to get some attention here as the regular season draws to a close. Um, I if you really push me, I would say the person I think maybe most likely to drop off would be Chase Briscoe. He hasn't been spectacular in the 19 car, um, taken over from Martin Truex Jr. And I don't know. He could come up and win one and take care of it, but he's the guy that I would be a little bit worried about. That currently holds a playoff position spot, but might not by the end of the year.
Yeah, for me, it's Austin Cindric. He has won the race, so he is in the playoffs, but will he be in the top 16? He does have some tracks that are very favorable to him. I do think he's going to run well at Michigan. He should run well at Pocono, and of course, he will run well wreck as long as there's no wreck over at Atlanta. So that's going to help him coming out in the next 4 or 5 races. But you take a look at him, you look at his top fives, you look at his laps led outside of the race that he had. He has not had a big year outside of the super speedways, and there's only one super speedway race coming before the cutoff, and that's going to be in Atlanta. I think. Wait, now Daytona will be there. I think the race before the cutoff, so that's a
Yes.
race he should do well in as well. But some of the other races have been kind of a surprise. How about the other way?
Well, first off, take a look at Josh Berry. He's 17th in the standings right now. He's got a win, okay, which should put him in the playoffs again, depending on how many winners we have this year. I wouldn't be surprised to see him move up into the top 16. Um, I don't know, one other individual that should be able to make a run, especially based on his talent and the fact that he's driving, for a good team would be Kyle Busch. He'd be the guy I would look to push his way into the top 16 before the end of the year.
Yeah, I do agree with you on Kyle Busch. We're going to actually use that as a transition topic. I think Kyle Busch, the talent is overall, it's still there. I think the frustration is there. I don't know if this is a marriage made in heaven, driving for Richard Childress or not. That's probably for another time. I hope so. You would think that when they came together, I said, "Wow, he's got a good team." And but it just seems like every time I put our highlight reels together, every time we do any of that, I'm always getting another Kyle Busch spin out where he's getting hit, he's hitting somebody, he's in the wall, and that kind of thing. Which brings us to our last topic today. Who is going to win a NASCAR race next? Is it going to be Kyle Busch or Brad Keselowski? What do you think, Steve?
Well, I think that right now they're running neck and neck for the in the wrong place at the wrong time award this season.
Yeah.
Both of them have just had some really, really bad luck. It was a busy off season for RFK Racing. Brad was signing some new sponsor deals. They added another car this year on a part-time basis in the Cup Series. He's 33rd in points. He is for sure in a must-win situation if he expects to get in the playoffs this year. He had a great run at Kansas. I was disappointed to see it end the way that it did.
Yeah.
But I think Kyle Busch will win before Brad will.
Yeah, I agree with you. Taking a look at the stats, Brad Keselowski, no top fives, no top tens, 5 DNFs, and he's in the mid 30s in the points race. And hey, I'd love to see both Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski win this year. I think the sport is better when you have a couple of veterans that can add to their win totals. I just think Kyle Busch has been more at the top in more races. He's had top five. He's had like 4 top tens. He's up there. He just needs to stay away from what you call being at the worst place at the worst time. And it seems like both of these guys have hit the golden buzzer for constantly being knocked out of races, and it's a real shame.
Yep.
All right. So with that, we have a teaser for you right now, everybody, and here it is. Steve Schweitzer, you will be talking to Brad a little bit later on today. I will be talking to Harrison Burton and Austin Cindric. And hopefully we'll have some information for you and quotes from both of these guys. And of course, Steve, I know that you are you're the fly on the wall for us. And so when you go to North Wilkesboro this week, I'm sure you'll hear some things and that our audience will be better informed because we have our NASCAR insider on the show.
Yeah, interesting. I got an invitation just the other day from Richard Childress Racing to attend a luncheon on Friday afternoon. Not any particular, media subject to discuss or whatever. They just wanted to thank the media for, their support, throughout the year. And so I'm looking forward to that. And they said they would have drivers popping in and out. So maybe we'll get to ask Kyle a question too and see what's happening in his world. So
I don't see, well, I've seen these drivers. These drivers are extremely thin, but I don't think any of them would miss a meal, at least get themselves a little morsel. So with that, Steve, once again, he's our NASCAR insider from the Lasco Press. You will find your reading, writing, and the rest where?
thelascopress.com.
And with that, Steve, we're going to let you jet on down to North Wilkesboro Speedway. And for everybody tuning in to the Skyview Motorsports Desk, I'm Roy J. Akers. Thanks again, Steve.
Thank you, Roy.
Yep, safe travels.
Take care.
That's a lap just running all by yourself without the help of the draft from the car in front. So across the line this time with about a 3. Larson clocks in 2/17.